Oh, well. I meant to do the countdown. Oh, well. We didn't do the countdown. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, I don't get to
There
dance.
you go. Hello, folks. Good day. Welcome to the Ammunation. My name is Craig Bragg. I'm your host. Tonight with me is what did I call you in Twitter?
I forget. We're running out of words.
The idiosyncratic Irving twin. Good evening, Irving. How are you, sir?
Living the dream. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for coming in today, and thanks for helping me out. He had a little bit of technical issues before we got started, but everything's good. We're all copacetic. We got some comments. Of course,
For now.
Irvington was first. Pox says first one that counts. CMAC says, hey, Pox.
And
Hey, CMAC. All right. Thanks, folks, for coming in. Thank you, Pox and CMAC, for both popping in and saying hey. So yeah, we missed the ammunition last week. That's why we're doing it this week. We're a little off schedule now, but I appreciate you all being patient, waiting with us. Irving had some things he needed to take care of, wasn't able to join us, and I was not going to run the ammunition live stream without my co-host. So
sorry about that. Too kind of you, too.
oh yeah, no worries, no worries. You're 50% of this show. Some might even say 60. We've got banners. We've got titles now. So I'm Bragg, the angry old Canadian, and Twin is internet throttled by the government of Canada. This is a new feature in StreamYard that they are allowing us to do. So I'm appreciative of that. That's pretty cool. Why no spiffy shirts? Actually, I have a spiffy shirt today. I bought this from Into the AM.
Ooh.
You ever seen Into the AM's t-shirts?
I've not, but that's
They've got
really
some
odd.
pretty cool graphic designs. I really liked this one, so I ordered it. I ordered a 3-pack of different designs, and then I ordered a 3-pack of just plain shirts and got them last week, and I was quite happy.
And I would say that my 511 shirt is pretty spiffy.
Now, what is 511 referring to?
It's a brand that does like tactical hunting and camping gear. Yeah.
I know those look like what are those bullet?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. They're
so
the ass end of rounds.
right, this center fire plate of
Yes.
the bullet. Okay, it passes, says CMAC. Thank you, I appreciate that. So, you've been getting to the gym at all lately, Mr. Twin?
I have, yeah.
Good for you.
I've got a new schedule, so it's actually made it a lot easier to get to the gym more often, even though it's fucking packed as shit in my gym at that time now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I find going later in the evening, it's not quite as busy. It's still busy, and the area where I would work out typically um, is it's limited in the amount of machines it's got. I mean, it's got a lot of machines, but they typically only have 2 of any given type.
Hmm.
And so last night I was there. I was doing flies
Yeah.
on a machine as opposed to using dumbbells or cables.
Mm-hmm.
This was like a sit down machine where you do flies, and it's got arms basically as opposed to cables.
It's one of my
And
favorites.
yeah, I like it, but the one that I had, somebody had adjusted the settings, and so I had to start back really far, and it would only go to about here. You can
Oh,
see.
so I'll tell you what happened. That machine is a dual machine,
Yeah.
and they had set it up for rear delt fly.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to readjust it to do chest fly.
Yeah. That's fine. I didn't know how to adjust it because I'd never used it before, so I just said, I'll do it. I'll do it this way, and just to basically I was stretching really far back to start, and then coming to just in front of my face like this kind of thing. But yeah, no, it's good. It identifies as 50. There you go. Greetings, wonderful seeming and wonderful adjacent people. Good evening, Mr. Costin. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate you being here. I have a humorous anecdote from the gym. I hope I haven't told this before. I don't think I have because we weren't together last week. So a couple weeks back, I'm there with Chevy training, and he has me on a shoulder press machine, right? And just before I start my set, this younger guy comes up to Chevy and goes, "Hey man, I want to tell you, you got a really great physique. I want to know, how do I get shoulders like yours?" And I turn around and I say, "Oh, I lost Irving. He's missing this joke. He's missing this bit." And I said, excuse me, that's my boyfriend you're talking to. And really made the guy feel uncomfortable for about 10 seconds. And I said, no, dude, I'm only joking. C-Mac says, all hail the most glorious costume. May he reign in all his mighty glory for all time. Irving, come back. I can't do this alone. And I've only done one do you even lift bro bit. So you've got to put in, give me some more content. In the meantime, folks, I am noticing positive changes in my face. Maybe you can't see it. I don't know. In my overall posture, my physique, I'm noticing some changes. They're not. Someone was telling me today. A buddy of mine was telling me today. Too much gay, says C-Mac. Someone was telling me today. So it'll take about a month before you start to notice it on yourself. It'll take about 2 months or 3 months before people you know will start to notice it on you, notice changes in your body. And it'll take about 6 months for strangers to see you and go, oh, that guy lifts, So that's what I'm looking forward to. And I've got about 6 months before I reach my goal. Sorry, folks. I just want to. Oh, I got an animal coming in to bother me. Sorry, folks. Having some issues here. There we go. All right. Sorry, folks. Irving, get back here, man. He was having some technical difficulties before. Maybe he's having technical difficulties now. He doesn't like the gay joke, says Ben Felsen. It wasn't a gay joke. It was a. Well, I guess it was kind of a gay joke. Thanks, Costner. I've been microneedling. I noticed the excessively beautiful C-Mac. Oh, thanks, Costner. LOL. So many gay jokes, though. Yeah, but gay jokes are fun because if you can't make fun of homosexuals, who can you make fun of? Anyway, my cat's here bothering me. Let's go back. Do you even lift, bro? Oh my goodness. I think I lost Irving for good. Irving, come back. Got a lift video in your Discord DMs, Craig. Thanks, Pox. I'll take a look. It's probably a joke. Oh, and I'm supposed to be simulcasting. One sec here. So I did this Twitter Spaces thing. I can invite people. I think I'll just start. All right, it's going. Mic is on. It's probably going to start. I can hear me. It's probably going to hear some echo from the YouTubes, but we'll see. It's a good and play on Steam. Okay, there he is. He's back. Irving, buddy. I was so worried.
You understand that title now.
You think we got
Not you, just me.
Why you?
Because I'm angrier than you.
Maybe so. Are you drunker than me? Or are you drinking tonight?
No. I have to go to the gym tomorrow.
C-Mac says, "Ah, shit, it was going so well."
Oh, sorry. Sorry to disappoint.
It's all good. So I've got this Ammunation 33 simulcast going on Twitter. Folks, we are broadcasting tonight on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. And while we're at it, we'll go back to what do you call it? Do you even lift, bro, in a moment? But before we get too far, I'm gonna spam this all night. By the way, a humble request from my my wonderful audience. I want to get to the point where I can stream on Rumble as well. But in order to do that, I need at least 6 followers on Rumble. It says I have to have a minimum of 6. And I know that I can get 6 people from YouTube to come over to Rumble and follow me there. So I'm going to post a link to my Rumble account or my Rumble channel in the comments there. Just give me a second. I should have had this up, but I didn't because I'm stupid. And sign in. There we go.
How come I can't find you?
Hold on. Oh, I haven't created any channels yet. Well, how do I create a channel?
You didn't create a Rumble channel?
Well, I have an account, but I guess I don't have a channel.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
we'll
here
have
we
to
go.
do it
Create
later.
a channel. Let me create a channel. Sorry, folks. We're gonna. But anyway, when I get all this done,
You'll post a link. Okay.
I'll post a link. There we go.
So what did I miss in Do You Even Lift?
You didn't hear that then, eh? So I was working out with Chevy. You guys are gonna have to listen to this again. And I was on the shoulder press, and I was just about to start my first set, and this younger guy comes up and says to interrupt Chevy because he's training me, right? And he's like, "Hey, man, sorry to bother you. I just noticed, man, you got a great physique, and I really love your shoulders. Can you tell me how can I get shoulders like you?" And I turn around and I go, "Excuse me, that's my boyfriend you're talking to." And he's like, "Oh, no, 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 no." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm just joking. He's not my boyfriend. He's my trainer. I'm just fucking around with you." Anyway.
So that's it? That's the whole of Do You Even Lift?
That's the whole joke, yeah.
Oh, not the joke. I mean, like that was
This feel Craig
that was
Bragg.
all you discussed?
That was all. That's pretty much all I said. And then I started talking about what else. Oh, that I'm noticing changes. I don't know if you can see them. Maybe I'm imagining it.
So you're not imagining it. You're experiencing what's called noob gains.
Yeah.
Uh, your muscles want to be fit, right? For
Yep.
lack of a better word, like they're supposed to be. They're
Yep.
supposed to move and they're supposed to grow, right? And they're supposed to get like dense and cut. So in the immediate, when you haven't been doing it for some time and you actually start going regularly, even over just a couple of weeks, a couple of months, you will see what appears to be massive changes from completely sedentary to no longer sedentary. And that is a big, big difference, right? So yeah, you're not imagining it at all.
Anyway, I put an error occurred. Wait a moment, then try again. Why won't it let me? Oh, okay, no. It went in there. Okay, whatever. Oh, you know what? I probably cannot post the link in Twitch chat, but it's here in the YouTube chat. So there you go. Guys, click that link and see if you find my channel. It won't have
Well,
my
it just
logo
says creator.
because
It
that's my
doesn't say
title. The channel name should be Craig Bragg. Okay, let me edit it here. Name. All right, let's go. Let's go here. Let's change the title to Craig Bragg. All right, I've got 3 subscribers. Woohoo! I need 3 more, folks. That's all I need. So, if 3 more people can go over there, I think we probably only have 3 people watching right now. We got CMAC, we got Ben, we got Costum, we got Pox. And I know that you're going to subscribe, so maybe you're one of the 3 already.
I am, yeah.
Okay. So we shall see. We shall see. But thank you, folks. Back to Do You Even Lift, Bro? Yeah, I know it's noob gains. So I was saying that a buddy of mine was telling me that if you, in about a month, you'll not start to notice it on yourself. In about 2 or 3 months, people will start to notice it on you. Like people who know you will start to notice it. And then in about 6 months, people who don't know you, who just see you on the street, will recognize that you lift weights. And I'm like, cool. That's all I really want to. I mean, what I really want to be is look like Captain America. But what I hope is that it's visible enough that someone who doesn't know me can see me and say, oh, he has a physique. that isn't ridiculous. Uh, 3 people are and
And 4
4 feds.
feds, yeah.
There you go. Probably. But that's okay. That's okay. Uh, as long as I can live stream a Rumble, I don't care. So next time I do an Ammunation, if I have 6 followers, I'll do the live stream. And if I have to pay money, I have to pay money. I don't care. I have more money than brains, Irving, so I have no problem spending it. There's a few more comments. So here we are here. It's because he names them. The Jews did it. Not for long, lol. Rumble sounds complicated and homosexual. It's gay. There's my Rumble link, folks. That's a simple request, but anyway, you got any gym stories to tell me apart from it being really busy last time you were there?
Well, because I'm working strange hours, and by strange hours, I mean strange for me, which is the normal human hours. So I'm doing 9 to 5s now.
Nice.
Eh, you
You don't
know,
like 9 to 5s? You prefer later?
yeah, like
Really?
afternoon, evening shifts are just generally better for me, right? I sort of have a sleep disorder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the world works 9 to 5 because most people are properly, perfectly diurnal, right?
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not nocturnal, but I'm not far from nocturnal.
Have you tried taking melatonin?
So you're gonna start asking me about all the sleep.
Oh, he's frozen again. It's fucking feds trying to silence the man. Oh well. We'll keep trucking along. We may have to end this early if Irving keeps having technical difficulties, but we're going to try and get through as many topics as possible. Last we heard from Irving, he said that he's not normally like diurnal. He doesn't function well during the needs a week outside in nature to reset the clocks. Yeah, it wouldn't help. Like getting sunlight is part of what sets your biological clock, right? How have you been, C-Mac? You've been getting out into the nature. You've been riding horses with your red hair flowing in the wind. We lost him again. Get back here. Get back here, Irving. Oh, I got a couple of notifications. No biggie. All right. No Irving yet, but that's okay. Have we lost our stream? Nope, it's still going. Nope, no riding outside, lol. Do you ride in an indoor barn? I wonder. Crazy idea with a 3-year-old, lol. Only riding inside, lol. I kind of like Irving better, just frozen in time. Greater Ajax. Greater Ajax, if you're just coming here, go to my Rumble channel. It's in the chat. Go and subscribe, please. See where I'm at here. I still only have 3 subscribers, folks. I need 6. Oh, there's 4 now. Very good. All right. Welcome back, Irving. You're frozen again. Jesus Christ. He comes back and he freezes. My goodness. What the hell? Look at that face. What a handsome fellow. Greater Ajax likes it when Irving's frozen. Maybe he's faking it to please Jake Greater Ajax. I don't know. Only riding inside, lol. We have an indoor, yes. Nice. We walk at a slow pace and eat carrots. Nice. Carrots are good for your eyes. We'll do in a bit, Craig. Thanks, Ajax. Appreciate that. So if you didn't hear, I need 6 followers in order to do live streams on Rumble, and I only have 4 right now. Lost them again, folks. We may have to do this intermittently with Irving. Let's move on from Do You Even Lift Bro, because I don't think I'm going to get a good story out of him. Tonight's main topic is these are not serious people, and this pertains to something that Irving shared with me earlier today. Where is it? Try and find it. Of course, I've lost it. I have it here. All right. In a moment, I will share. I will share my screen. There we go. You all can see that. Looks like you can. Okay, so this is the picture in the slate is of New York City Mayor Eric Adams as a clown because, well, one, I put it into Night Cafe and said, "Make New York City Mayor Eric Adams a clown." So this is his plan to fight crime in New York City. So first is give first-time offenders intervention programs instead of prosecution. So meaning don't even bring them to court. Just give them intervention programs. And he's back. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
The next crackdown on shoplifting plan for NYC: de-escalation training for retail employees. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, try and get them to stop by being pleasant with them. Establish neighborhood retail watch groups to share theft info in real time with one another and NYPD. Be on the lookout for the guy in the purple wig. He's stealing tampons. Okay, thanks for the heads up, guy. Install kiosks in stores to connect would-be thieves with social service programs. That's great. Yeah, I'm gonna go into a Walgreens and I'm gonna go in there and steal condoms and Zimas and whatever else I can get my hands on. Oh, excuse me, get this kiosk out of my way. I got to get myself some condoms. And then boom, just walk out. Do you think that's really going to help? Do you think people are going to come out from behind that kiosk? Excuse me, sir, I notice you're trying to steal something here from this Walgreens. Would you like to talk about other options? No. Fuck off. This is ridiculous. And that's why, AG Hamilton said these are not serious people. And I'm inclined to agree. We got a few more comments real quick. We'll do it a bit. Okay. They aren't even people, says Pox. That's right. They're slee stacks. Fight me. People is being generous. Well, they're communists, and communists aren't people. So there you go. Also, sup, Ajax. Hey, Alex, how are you? Okay. Thoughts, Irving, on this? I mean, you sent it to me. I assume you
Yeah,
wanted
I saw it. I thought it was ridiculous and something funny we could discuss on the show. And I mean, like, but now you called them communists. Remember, right? The Bolsheviks emptied the prisons,
Yep.
put some of the worst offenders in uniforms, and gave them guns. Right? Like, yeah. And here they're not even bothering with emptying the prisons. They just stopped filling them.
Yeah. They don't arrest them. They put them out on no bail after 72 hours or 24 hours. Okay, you're out. You're free to go. Doesn't matter that you broke this woman on the subway's orbital bone. You go ahead. You go out there again. And that's why this guy Penny, who's being charged with second degree murder of that what's his name, Neely fellow,
Yeah.
is absolutely insane. Now you realize he's raised like millions of dollars in like financial support for his
defense. Yeah, his legal defense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, a little surprising in a good way because, when you look at it, when you watch, he's the only person that was charged when 3 people intervened and stopped that guy from harassing/assaulting people on the train.
Right.
But he's the one that was charged because the other 2 were black.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, no, I heard a story that somebody wants to charge everybody who was on that train for allowing his murder to happen.
Wait,
So they're want people to intervene in crimes.
Somebody?
What's that?
Somebody?
Yeah, I don't know who it was. I saw a headline on Twitter.
Somebody wants to charge him.
Man, look at how shiny my forehead is. Anyway, I'm very vain, folks. If you didn't know that about me, I'm sick of this waddle too. I fucking hate this thing. Anyway, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it brings a point. Did you see the bit with Polyev answering questions of the press regarding his statements in the House regarding crime and the uptick in criminal activity?
I did not know.
I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did not know. I did Well, let me see if I can find it. It's right here. I'm sure it's here on YouTube. Polyev. There we go. Let's see if I can find it on the YouTubes. I just want the clip now.
Well, I mean, while you're finding it, I can point out again that, all the ridiculousness about banning legal gun owners from having guns reduces crime has been completely proven untrue. The Order in Council, the law that they've banned, some 1,500 firearms or
Yeah.
more in the past few years in Canada,
Thereabouts.
and crime is up.
Yeah.
Right. So that's it. It's over. You did it. You banned all these firearms, and violent crime is up. Violent crime against police is up.
Yeah.
Right. It does not do what you say it does.
No.
End of story. Like that. It's over. But people are stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it comes down to this this idea that crime is an economic problem, right? It's a problem of
Well,
economics and disparity of wealth and all that sort of stuff. And it is to a degree, but
actually,
it's
funny
also very
story.
much a social problem, right? In that
Sure.
society is sick, but that doesn't mean that society takes the blame or is the one that gets punished. The punishment to society is the criminal activity. The idea that you should hold
Sure.
society to account for the activities of individuals within that society is nonsense. It's a liberal it's liberal gobbledygook.
Well, okay, crime is an economic problem, but not the way they say it is. They actually have it exactly backwards. You can look at some of the poorest places in even America that have incredibly low crime rates.
Right.
But all of the places with incredibly high crime rates are incredibly poor. So it's not that poverty causes crime necessarily, but crime necessarily causes poverty. Right?
Oh
Look at
yeah,
what's
sure.
happening look at what's happening with those stores. As soon as they stopped arresting people for stealing from those stores, the stores went, "Well, we have to close down." They
Yeah.
closed down. There
Yeah.
goes all the jobs in those stores. There goes all the jobs nearby shipping to those stores.
Right.
Suddenly, all those people in that area no longer have jobs, and now the area is impoverished.
Right. Exactly. Why would you want to open a store if you can't maintain a profit margin? Right. And the bass backwards thing is that of course you've got people coming out saying these stores closing down is white
Racism.
supremacy, right? All right, I found the clip, so let me share it. Give me a moment here. Share screen. Include a share tab audio.
Failure of the system to not support people who have committed crimes, gone to jail, served their sentence, and then they're committing another crime. So is this not a failure of things like social services and support for people who have committed crimes?
Are you serious?
I'm asking.
No, I mean, are you serious? Come on, you're telling me. No, excuse me. Let me answer you. Are you honestly saying that it's society's fault if a repeat violent offender commits 60 or 70 offenses? I think that criminal is to blame for his own actions. He is personally responsible. We're not talking about some kid who made one mistake when he was 19. We're talking about people who do 60, 70 violent offenses. And then because they're criminals.
But why are they criminals?
Because they do crime.
And why do they do crime?
Because we let them out early on bail.
So because they
I think we've solved the riddle here.
Because they got let out early on bail.
That's right.
They then commit the crime.
That's right.
So
that's what all the experts agree is the cause of the crime.
So had they stayed in jail the whole time on bail in jail, not on bail as you say, they would then not commit crimes.
Because they'd be in jail, so they couldn't commit crimes.
And when they get out at the end of their sentence, they're crime-free?
Well, we can't guarantee that, but what we can guarantee is the period when they're behind bars, they will not be able to do crime.
Pretty fucking self-explanatory, if you ask me.
Yeah, and like, see, this is some of the times that I want to like him, you know, like I need another poster up here. The X Files. I want to believe your T-shirt, right? Uh, and but I just like I just don't believe him. Like,
Pox Toxic says, "Is this a comedy skit?" Kick. Yeah, it seems like it, right? Like it's like, and this is why we should never let women vote. This is the society that has been wrought from in the United States, the 19th Amendment, in Canada, the Voting Rights Act. Uh, Women have a mentality of kindergarten teachers, and it trickles up or bubbles up into government policy, which is why we have weak societies now. Sorry, CMAC. I would not want to take away your right to vote, but the truth of the matter is the reason that Western civilization is on the decline is all thanks to women.
see, the thing is, CMAC is so based. I'm pretty sure that if she could give up her right to vote to prevent other women from voting, she would do it.
She says fair. No, that's why I'll keep touting super suffrage, you know?
Well, no, like, I mean, you know, the list of historic events in Canada throughout the years is like
Yeah.
1928, women awarded the right to vote. 1929, the Great Depression begins.
Correlation does not equal causation, Irving, I think you'll know. No, I'm just
It
saying look
doesn't
at
always equal
no, it
causation.
doesn't always equal causation. Um, I'm just saying you take a look at the policy, you take a look at the approach to I don't want to say engineering, but managing society, and it looks like a kindergarten teacher's wet dream. We need to have social programs that make sure everything is fair for people, that everybody's got the same amount, that everybody, gets treated fairly and nobody says a mean word and nobody ever holds anyone to account for their bad behavior. That's okay. You'll learn, this is the mentality of that reporter. This is the mentality of liberals and NDP and leftists and liberals, small L liberals the world over. The idea that society can be engineered if we just treat people nicely enough, then the world would just be a nice place. If we just coddle people, then the world would become a nice place. And it's balderdash. And,
Yeah.
and I'm not, of course, it's not. I'm not when I say it's because of women, I'm being hyperbolic. What I am saying is because of the feminization of society through the expansion of social programs, through the expansion of this mentality of government becoming a caregiver as opposed to simply uh, a system by which a nation functions. This is what it has wrought.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I don't-
CMAC agrees with me. Says there's a pattern. Yeah, there is a pattern. You'll see it the world over, right? It's interesting. Like, and now I'm not saying I would ever like to see us behave like Saudi Arabia, right, where women are second-class citizens. What I am saying is that if we can get back to a fundamental understanding that there is a difference between the sexes, that not everybody is equal. Men and women aren't equal. They're what do you call it? They're two sides of a coin, or they are complementary to one another, but they're not equal. Then I think if we had that in our mindset when we talk about the values that we want to instill in society, I think things would be a little bit better.
Well, it's like one of my favorite sayings: God made men. Samuel Colt made men equal.
And you know what the word woman actually is derived from? You know the etymology of the word woman?
Don't tell me it's a joke and it
No,
means
it's not a
woe
joke.
unto man.
Whoa, man. Look
No,
at that.
woe unto man.
No. What it means is woman literally translated as not a man.
Really?
Yes. So we have to acknowledge that there are differences between men and women. And it reminds me of something that Mr. Pox Toxic shared with us in our stream briefly. Give me a moment here while I share that. The anticipation's got to be window. There we go.
Oh. For the Dragon Ball fans.
You will never be a woman. Fucking hell.
It's just mean.
That's awesome. Pox, I love your shit, man. Never stop being you. While we're on the subject, anything else you want to expound upon with regards to These Are Not Serious People? Anything else you want to say?
I had an idea. I'm not even drinking, and somehow I've half lost it now.
Go ahead.
No. I'm
okay.
I'm
I have
sorry.
an idea. I
Yeah,
was thinking about this while I was walking the dog today. About with regards to that clip from Polyev, in regards to that thing that you shared from New York City Mayor Eric Adams. We need to model an. Do you ever remember G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a like a mini series in the G.I. Joe cartoon where they were trying to create the Cobra Emperor, and they were doing it by collecting the DNA of people like Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, Adolf Hitler, all these fucking, the worst people in history, but also like the greatest conquerors in history, right?
Sure.
I think Napoleon was one of them too. There's a bunch of people, right? So they're collecting the DNA and they're going to fuse it to make the Cobra Emperor, who's going to be this, way better than than Cobra Commander kind of thing, right? What I'm thinking we need to do, and we won't be using DNA and like crazy Cobra science, but
We have
we
CRISPR now.
we'll develop an AI, okay? And that AI will be amalgamations of the wisdom and teachings of Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, Andrew Tate, Donald J. Trump, and I'm trying to think who else. Let's throw a black guy in there. Larry Elder. Let's throw Larry Elder in there.
Thomas Sowell.
Thomas Sowell. There we go. And we use that guy. Oh, and then we need a total fucking badass, because Andrew Tate, while he's an alpha, he's not a badass. So I'm thinking like who's a badass?
George St. Pierre.
Who's that?
The Canadian UFC fighter.
Oh, I don't follow UFC.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I'm just gonna say Charles
Mel
Bronson.
Gibson.
I'm gonna say Mel Gibson. I'm gonna say Charles Bronson, because that fucker was a badass. Anyway, we take an amalgamation of all these, people, like their brain patterns and shit, right? And we create an AI that's an amalgamation of all these people, and we use that as a personality to mold the minds of youth offenders. So young guy gets picked up for doing a crime like breaking into a car or some shit like that, goes to juvenile detention, right? You have this big screen, right? And every day they have a session with this amalgam AI. And as far as they're concerned, because CGI is amazing at this point, you can make it look like a real person. This guy gives a lecture and answers in real time questions, and basically excoriates these pieces of shit, these little miscreants, and teaches them how to be better fucking people and how to be people that, better on the outside. And then they get released and we see what happens.
Okay, so CMAC has just called it brainwashing, and I'm like, you just created Big Brother?
No. This is only in detention centers, and it's not
Sure.
Big Brother. He's not watching them all the time. It's like a
It's a
sermon,
class.
so to speak. It's like a presentation, an interactive presentation that would help sort of like, because my thought is when I think of like youth detention centers and social workers that work there, I'm thinking guys with fucking acoustic guitars and man buns trying to like be hip and cool with
Right.
young offenders, right? Or I'm thinking a guy who's been through the system and he's very cynical about them and he knows they're all little pieces of shit. I think you can have sort of a mix of those two. And if you took the people who had some reasonable wisdom and made a AI based on that, then I think it might be successful.
So, okay, I remembered the thing I wanted to add here because we were talking about criminality. Have I told you? Like, when I was growing up, I was never involved in anything terrible, serious,
No.
but I did know, a handful of criminals, right? I went to, some schools where there was, poorer kids.
Yeah.
There was middle class kids and working
Yeah.
class kids, and there were some rich kids. Okay. None of the poorest kids committed crimes, really. Right? Like, they were fairly desperate, but desperation doesn't cause people to commit crimes, it seems. In my experience, people commit crimes for 3 reasons. 1, they want to be cool. It's fun. It's fun to do bad things.
Yes, it is.
2, they want to be rich. It's not that they're desperate for money, they just want more of it.
Right.
All right? Or 3, they want to be violent. They're violent people who like hurting others.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Right?
Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable.
The vast majority of the poorest people do not commit major crimes.
No, they just
And the
fucking
vast
pepper-
majority of people who commit major crimes aren't desperately poor.
No.
So where they got this idea that, like fucking AOC sees all these people looting fucking shoe stores and jewelry stores and goes,
They're
they're just
desperate.
trying to put bread on the table.
Yeah,
It's
they're
like, what
desperate.
the fuck?
Yeah, they're stealing the shoes so they can sell them to buy fucking Swanson Hungry Man dinners. No, they're probably stealing them to either have them for themselves or sell them for drugs. Crime. CMAC. Yeah, Greater says like an AI mentor. Yeah, like an AI mentor. Speaking of AI, did you see this? There's a YouTuber I follow called ESO. Remember I was talking about we're going to get to the point where we make video games where basically the people you interact with are going to be powered by AI, and you're going to be able to carry on actual real-time conversations through a headset.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
some brilliant young developer made what do you call it? A downloadable content for Skyrim, where he took all the speeches, all the dialogue written for the different characters like Lydia and the fucking, the guy who makes the weapons in Whiterun and stuff. And he gave them AI so you can have, and you put your headset on, you talk to him, and he answers in his voice, and the voice is really good. It makes up words that he hasn't said based on the speech patterns of things he has said, and he'll answer your question. And it's not just, yes, that's correct. He actually will have like really long-winded monologues about, how he trained to become a blacksmith and all this sort of, or weaponsmith and all this sort of stuff. It's like, it's really cool. I'm like, it's coming, man. Some bit AAA title is going to come out where it's going to be like seamless, and people are going to get sucked into this fucking metaverse or whatever you want to call it, and they're never going to fucking leave because they can have full-on relationships with NPCs.
Right. It's kind of scary. Hello, 6.
Hello, 6. Greg, Irving, Pox, Ajax, CMAC, Costin, Bros. Hello, all. Hey, 6. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for popping in. 6, you weren't here when I asked, but so I would ask that you go over to my Rumble page. Oh, and I closed it. One sec here. Go over to my Rumble channel and subscribe there. One moment. I'm going to link it again in the chat. So go there and subscribe. I need 6 subscribers if I'm going to live stream on Rumble, and I want to do that. So if you would please go over there and subscribe. I don't have any content there yet, but it is going to sync up with my YouTube at some point, and you'll start to see new stuff going over there. Anyway, yeah. So that's an interesting topic. That's a nice little snapshot of Western civilization circling the fucking drain. Let's see here. You got any oddities to share? Or should I move on to Pox Toxic Takes?
Oddities. Well, I mean, all of what we've been discussing seems to be like an oddity, right? Like,
Sure.
oh, but yeah, no, we can move on if you like.
All right. Let's move on to, well, before we get to toxic takes, did we touch on this at all?
I don't think so. I was
We
cutting
talked
it.
about it in the green room real quick.
Yeah.
The central banking digital currency panopticon. So I was watching Redacted. Maybe I did mention this.
No, that was to me.
Okay. So I was watching Redacted, or a clip from Redacted. Canada's pushing for central banking digital currency. They put out a survey. Have you taken the survey yet?
No.
So put out a survey asking people their thoughts on the idea. Costin says it's at 5 followers at the moment. Awesome. Yeah. We'll get there.
One more.
So they put out a survey asking people what they thought of it. Most people are not on board with it because they understand the idiocy of it. One of them made a comment like, why do we need a digital currency? I can do everything electronically now with my bank card, my Visa card, with my Starbucks card, with my Tim's card. It's all digital. I don't need a centralized digital currency. What's the point? And then the guy who's presenting it on Redacted said the point is to make it a financial panopticon. And a panopticon, if you're unfamiliar, is basically an institution, typically a prison, where all of the cells, where all the prisoners are on the outside, and there's a central tower that is constantly surveilling. So the people who are monitoring the prisoners can see them at all times from the middle, kind of like in the kiln on Guardians of the Galaxy. Remember they hijacked it, took it away? I think everything's frozen again. Doesn't matter. I'll keep going. So the idea behind a digital currency, central bank digital currency, is that if they get you to start using this currency, they can monitor every single transaction you make. So unlike cash, which is anonymous, you can buy anything with cash. Now, if you use the digital currency, they know what you're buying. And they can decide, you know what, we don't like the idea that you're buying ammunition, so we're going to lock your currency. They're also going to institute an expiration on the currency. So the currency is not going to last forever. So you could have $350,000 in your bank, and if some of it was generated at a time frame that they've decided is going to expire after so many years, then that chunk of money is just gone. It can't be used anymore. It's absolutely nonsense, and I am not looking forward to it. And I'd love to get Irving's thoughts on it, but the mother dropped out again. So here we go. We got a few more comments. So Costa says it's $5 a time. I made a cute gold ankle bracelet yesterday. Screw their fake money. Exactly. Get gold, baby, gold. Make our currency representative of gold or maple syrup. That's my thought. Folks in the chat, any thoughts on a central bank digital currency? I'm guessing I'll know how this is going to go. Most people are going to be against it. I'm against it, but we shall see. I'm going to check my my simulcast, my Twitter space, and see if there's any people popping in or listening. Looks like it might have ended. Let's see here. Oh, it looks like I got disconnected. Oh, well. No biggie. It was just an experiment. Debt dollars. Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, all of our money's based on debt anyway. So yeah, my concern with and the thing is, they said in it, well, it won't be replaced. Like when they made a statement about it, it's not going to replace cash. Cash will still be available, but you'll also have the benefit of digital currency, which is bullshit. They're going to replace cash if they get this off the ground, and they're going to get it off the ground. They're going to force it. Then it ultimately will replace cash, and nobody will be able to trade in physical dollar bills anymore. But that's what their plan is. So you know what? Make sure you got tins of tuna. Make sure you got beef jerky. Make sure you got some ammunition. And you can trade in that and gold. Do what CMAC does. Become a goldsmith and start trading in gold. All right, we got some more comments here. Costin says the amount of money that one can spend should be based on how much I like you. That's solid. Yeah. How much do you like me, Costin? I want to be able to buy, make my car payments, so good rules, says CMAC. Yeah, this is the WEF plan. I'm thinking ultimately there's going to be a crisis in the monetary system. It's probably going to be linked to a so-called Russian hack of some sort, when in reality it'll be engineered. The money system is going to become unreliable. There's going to be a crash of some sort, and then the Great Reset will come in. And part of that Great Reset will be central bank, digital currency. And then the people like Klaus Schwab and George Soros, they're not going to have to worry because they're already rich. They don't need to worry about the money. Um, I make bread. Give me your debt dollars. Yeah, you could be a baker. Just as long as you can provide something that people want or need, you'll be fine. I can crack jokes on the internet. I don't know how much money people will pay for that, but we'll see. I think we might have lost Irving for good this time. I hope not. He's been gone for a little while. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, folks. I'm yawning. I had a solid workout today. Pretty tired. Did a lot of walking today. I'm going to move on, though. Since Irving can't comment on this, I'm going to move on to another topic. Let's see. Why don't we move on to Pox Toxics? Toxic takes. We got a comment. Bread and circus for all. Yes. We're going to move on to Pox Toxics. Toxic takes. Let me get over to Facebook here. The messenger. And I'm going to go into our group chat and get some of Pox's wonderful pieces of wisdom. Uno momento, por favor. We will start. We'll start with this one. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, there we go. Spider-Man pizza posted on Twitter. I believe that's Twitter. It might be on Reddit. I think it's Twitter. Pride organizers, when they're told they can still do the pride, the parade, but there can't be any nudity around children. And of course, it's Willem Dafoe, purple hair and a septum ring and red frame glasses. You can't do this today. That's very clever. Love it. All right. Let's move on to another one. He shared quite a few this week that I thought were just fucking on point. There's this one here. Remember the Berenstain or Berenstain Bears? Here's a 2-page spread of one of the Berenstain Bears little books. I am father. I am a he. A father something you could be, saying to his son, says Dad Berenstain Bear. I am mother. I am a she. I am a mother something you could be, saying to daughter. And there's a troon, as Pox likes to call it, screaming with her bulge and her fake boobs. Thought that was pretty funny. There's another one here that I thought was pretty clever. Here we go. If you feel depressed, you need to go to therapy. Bro and Jim. You need to be on medication. It's for your own good. Bro in love. Stop being happy. Bro in, embracing Jesus. That's about it. The people on the left, they want people miserable. They want people feeling like they're alone. They want people feeling like there's no hope. And if you work out, you get yourself in a good relationship, and you find Christ, none of those things will come to pass. Hey, you sound like a Christian there. I'm not a Christian, folks. Still atheist, but I understand the value of Christianity. And finally, for Mr. Pox Toxic, we have my power level is none of your fucking business. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is a criminally underrated TV show, and everybody should find some episodes and watch it. Anyway, Let's see. Have we got Twin back yet? We do not. We do not. But that's the end of Pox Toxics takes. Let's stop sharing that real quick. I'm all alone, folks, but I got some comments to read. Let's read some more comments. Let's see. We've got Twin's back. Welcome back, Mr. Twin.
Thank you, sir.
Everything all right on your end?
Just pull the banner down for a second. Let's remind everyone.
Oh, yes. Hold on. The internet is throttling Irving Twin. Government of Canada is throttling. I don't know why he's not throttling me. I'm the one doing this shit. Watch. I've been doing this stream the entire time, and nobody's seeing it. Like, even the 11 people here aren't seeing it.
Yeah.
It's all fucking fake. They're all bots. I'm going to go through some of the comments. I make bread. Give me your debt dollars. Oh, Costin said the amount of money that one can spend should be based on how much I like you. CMAC said good rule. She said, I make bread. Give me your debt dollars. Anyone who entertains CMAC is good in my book. So, CMAC, please let Costin know that you are entertained so that I can spend my monies. Sweet, she says. Bread and circus for all, she says. F in the chat. I'm guessing it's F in the chat because Irving dropped out. F pour one out. Her. Allegedly. I'm not sure. You need someone to fill in for Irv for a while? 6, if you want to join, man, I'll send you the link. That way, if Irv pops out and drops off,
Yeah.
then you're around. Why don't I do that? Give me a moment. I will send you the link. Copy. And where shall I send it? I think I have him in my Facebook chat somewhere. Let me search chat. Next. 6 minutes. I sent it to you on Facebook Messenger there, Mr. 6. So feel free to join. That'd be awesome. C-Max says, yes. So Craig, get on 6. Get 6 on. Yes, absolutely. Russian bots again. Absolutely Russian bots. Let me boot up the other rig. It'll be a minute. Yeah, no worries. I think Irving will last a couple more minutes before he gets kicked again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if for a long time now, I've been getting more and more paranoid about it because it's only on there's occasional internet interruptions. They happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots more people work from home these days. Lots more people, have gotten in the habit of not going out.
Yeah, but it's Saturday at 11 o'clock at night. And if you're affected, why am I not affected?
And it's always on Saturdays for me that suddenly it's really bad, usually in the couple hours leading up to the stream. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck, I'm not even going to be able to bloody stream. And it's mostly been okay. There have been some interruptions, right? But tonight is the worst one. Yeah,
it's been pretty spotty tonight. We got a Twitch comment from Baba Ola. Glory to Russia. Well, thanks for popping in. Russia's a beautiful country that I'd love to visit. Trucks with ladders around, says C-Mac. Yeah, maybe some trucks with ladders around. Yeah. You seen anybody on the street dressed a little too well for where they are?
I don't think they even need that. I mean, with the bills that they're pushing these days, they could just
Yeah, it's all Cheeto dust finger people in their apartments throttling people on the internet.
Just turn off your internets.
Turn off the interbutts. All right. So I went through Pox Toxic takes while you were away. You've seen them all already.
Yeah.
So we should move on to something else. Irving's oddities. You got any oddities there, Mr. Irving?
No, nothing in particular.
All right. I'm going to make another humble request, folks. Go over to my Rumble channel and subscribe there if you haven't yet. Once again, link it in the comments. I want to be able to live stream on Rumble. There's a 6 follower minimum if you want to live stream on Rumble. So I hope they say the Wagner Group captured Bakhmut. Oh, could be. The Wagner Group, if you're not familiar, is a mercenary armed force employed by Russia much like Blackwater, the United States uses.
Hmm.
And I guess the Ukrainians had one briefly that was probably bankrolled by Europe and the United States called Mozart. So Wagner, basically named after the composer, they made their counterpart called Mozart, but Mozart apparently has been disbanded because the ain't got no money and they don't have the weapons to take on. Wagner Group captured Bakhmut. Yeah, I guess Bakhmut was one of those ones that Russia was trying to get a hold of and take over definitively, right? Yes, CMAC, they are mercs. They are mercenaries. They are military contractors, as they are called in, newspeak. But yeah, mercenaries, essentially. I'll be on in a few minutes. Thanks, Six. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for picking up the slack for this drunken son of a bitch over here. He's not even drinking tonight.
Not even drunk.
He's not. I'm not even drinking. See, if you were drunk, they'd probably let you stream.
Yeah,
It's like, he's too sober. He's going to be too cogent.
exactly.
Shut it down.
Yeah. He's getting too fit. He's too strong.
My power level is none of your fucking business. What's that guy's name? Carl?
I don't even know. I don't even know the reference. I just know the meme.
That's Aqua. That's a character. That's their neighbor from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. You ever watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
No, that's what I mean. I have no
got
idea.
some
That's
funny fucking
what it
shit,
was.
man. It was on. I want to say it was on Cartoon Network. If I'm not mistaken.
Is that the one where like the French fries and the drink are a character?
Yeah, and the meatball. Yeah, meatball.
Yeah, no, I never watched it.
You should watch it. It's got some funny bits, man. It's got some really funny bits. And Carl, their neighbor, is fucking hilarious. He's just your typical piece of shit. How do you feel about Mr. Trump becoming president again? I am a fan, Baba Ola. I'm looking forward to that day. I hope it happens. I hope there's not shenanigans like there was in 2020. And people will argue, oh, it was just, he was just that unpopular. He's not as unpopular as the media would like you to believe. He's also not as much of a liar as the media would like you to believe. Matter of fact, he's probably the most honest politician that the United States has ever had in the Oval Office. So, yeah. Anyway, I would like to see Trump win again. Irving, would you say you share that sentiment?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Your face when you realize half of my internet attitude is just a mix of Master Shake and Carl. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to emulate a couple of characters, then those two are great. Master Shake is awesome because he's such a piece of shit, but he's so oblivious. And then Fry, what's his name? What's the Fry guy's name? Frylock. His name's Frylock. I just got the reference. Frylock is kind of the straight man. He's the guy who's actually, he's like, don't
Frylock.
You want Dr. Shiva to win? You're talking about what's his name? The Indian guy. Dr. Ramaswamy? Is that his name?
Who?
Vivek Ramaswamy? I've seen a couple of his interviews. He interviewed with Stossel, Dave Stossel, and he interviewed with Jordan.
Making up words now.
What's that?
You're just making up words now.
No, John Stossel. John Stossel did an interview with Vivek Ramaswamy, and so did Jordan Peterson. I like what he has to say. I don't know that I think he's a long shot candidate. Speaking of long shot candidates, what do you think of Mr. Chris Sky?
Again, another one. I just don't see it happening for him. I don't know policy-wise if there's anything that I'm like, oh, no, that's ridiculous. That's terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, it almost seems the number of candidates that fucking entered themselves into the bloody race was basically to throttle him. Right? That it like
since he announced muddy the waters, so to speak. Right?
Yeah. That since he announced, it was like more than doubled. I don't think there's ever been that many candidates.
I think there's like 91 candidates, isn't there?
Yeah, more. It might. I don't know if it crossed 100 with hours left. Right? Like it's insane.
Yeah, he was. Greg Wycliffe was interviewing. There's a freedom rally downtown Toronto today. I was thinking, damn it. if I didn't have my training session today, I would have thrown on the Canada Man costume. I would have gone down there, and I would have like marched with Greg. Greg Wycliffe interviewed him on the street today. It's actually a pretty good interview. He seems very.
Wycliffe is all in on Chris Sky.
Oh yeah, he seems very likable. And the thing is, he's walking down Front Street, right? And he's passing by people who aren't part of the rally, and they see him, and they're like, "Hey, that's Chris Sky." People know who he is. He has recognition. He's a successful businessman, right? He's been doing business. He's been in construction for ages. And he went by a sign down off of Front Street where they are proposing the building of a 69-story building that is going to be a mixed zoning. So it's going to have residential, retail, and office in this 69-story building. And he pointed out the fact that it's going to have 599 or something like that residences, but not enough parking spaces for the residences, for the retail businesses, or the offices. And there's going to have like 700 bike parking. So he's like, this is the 15-minute city in a microcosm. This is what they want to do. This is exactly what they want to do. I sent it 6 to to your Facebook, your 6 minutes Facebook message, the 6 minutes live streams one. So you can find it there if you're on Facebooks. I hope you can pop in. That would be great. I could send it to you on Twitter if you want. Let me find 6.
But yeah, no, as soon as you described it, I was like, oh, so it's a fully contained 15-minute city.
Yep.
That no one ever has to leave the building.
Yep.
They can live and work and shop in one glass case. Yeah. Sounds horrifying.
It does. It does. But
I mean, we'll need that kind of structure if you want to, colonize Mars. But yeah. Or even asteroids.
My dad had asteroids. He couldn't shit for a week. Anyway, I sent the link on both Twitter and Facebook Messenger, so hopefully. Yeah. Okay. I just sent it to you on Twitter. Or 6. So pop in. We'll add you to the stream, and we'll gibba gabba. Yeah, I'm not. I can't vote in the election. You can vote, right? In Toronto, you're part of the Toronto area in terms of voting. So, if apparently anybody in Ontario though can donate to his campaign. So let's hope that happens. There he is. There's Mr. 6. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, everybody. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
Living the dream. Good to see you, bro.
I still have. I'm on this rig, so it's still going to have the bad 6.
Oh, that's
bad.
Funny.
The bad 6 logo.
So just behave badly tonight. That's. I mean, this Ammunation live stream is all about chicanery and.
I will. I guess I'll start the badness off by saying, you guys are a bunch of ninny poo poo caca heads.
Language.
Yeah, come on, pal.
Ninny caca poo poo heads. Oh yeah, just.
Well, you got fans in the chat. 6 is happy.
Pox. Good to see you, man.
Yep.
It's also good to see C-Mac and Ajax and Costin.
Yeah, these are my regular people, 6. Like they come every time I do an Ammunation live stream. They come to all of Irving's live streams.
Well, it's a good stream.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I wish I had more viewers. That's why I really want to get onto Rumble as well, because I think that's the emerging platform. I think if I can get on Rumble, because the user base is still rather small, I might actually be able to be seen there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the hope anyway. And I've got people coming in on from Twitch asking questions tonight, so that's nice. We stalk. Yeah, C-Mac is stalking me. I'm sure of it. She's either stalking me or she's stalking Twin. I don't know. Maybe she's stalking both of us. Or
Is C-Mac Canadian as well?
yeah, she's in Kingston.
So being a filthy American, using our antiquated imperial system, how does one stalk in metric?
So I think the rules are you have to be within a certain number of kilometers away.
Okay, kilometers.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
can't come within, like in the U.S. It's like you can't come within 500 feet or 300 yards or whatever. In Canada, it'll be meters, right? You can't come within 300 meters.
okay. So okay.
C-Mac says she can multitask. That's right. She can make gold jewelry, bake bread, and stalk Irving and myself.
While training horses.
All while training horses and flirting with Costin.
In metric, no less.
In metric.
This that's impressive.
What's a furlong in metric? I wonder. Furlong. That's like an equestrian measurement, is it not?
1/8 of a mile, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
It's also an actor in Terminator 2.
That's right. Is that a made up name though?
What? Eddie
Furlong.
Furlong?
Edward Furlong? No, that's his real name.
I'm going to take a stage name. I'm going to name myself 1/8 of a mile.
Well,
Pox says you Nubians need to chill outside Twitter. Yeah, we probably do, but I don't really get on much social media outside of Twitter. I don't want to do it on Facebook because my family follows me on Facebook, and Facebook's kind of a dead medium or dead platform. I could do it on Instagram, but I don't really do a lot on Instagram.
Apart from my live streams account, I avoid Facebook like the plague. I'm very anti-Zook, and that just the guy himself, not so much his platform or blah blah blah, so on and so forth. It's a crappy platform, but I just don't like the guy.
Zuckerberg?
Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, I just do not like the guy.
He's not even human.
No, he's a sleek stack for sure.
He's totally a sleek stack. Yeah, I don't really like Facebook either. I go on it to basically help my brother promote his real estate business because he's a real estate agent, and he's really trying to make headway. So he posts stuff on there, and I'll like and share his stuff because I want other people to see it. But pretty much everybody that I'm following, he's following too. I mean, I probably have friends that he doesn't follow, but I don't know that a lot of my friends use Facebook very much. Most of the other people that I follow on Facebook are people that I've gotten in touch with through the airsoft community and through political stuff. So I follow political commentators and politicians and shit on Facebook.
I gotta say, I'm disappointed because I'm on a night where neither of you guys are rocking the Magnum PI.
No,
Yeah, I know. Why are you growing a beard or a mustache there, Six?
Genetically speaking, I have bad facial hair pattern genetics. So
You
you automatically grow a pencil mustache without having to shave it.
no, I can't even do the mustache. The best I can do is have you ever seen Shaggy from Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
The animated one, not so much the one.
You get the little what do you call it, soul patch?
I got the weird soul patch and sort of under goatee.
Yeah.
That's about as good as I can do.
Because you're part Hispanic, right?
Yeah. So that's
Hispanic and what?
And a lot of other things.
Like European Caucasian kind of thing, or
yeah. Shit. I did the whole 23andMe and Ancestry.com, FamilyTree.com, and even that National Geographic, the one they had for a while. And I got a rather interesting view on my genetic history. Yeah, it's as far as like the European genes go, a full quarter of my European genes come from Spain.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So Iberian Peninsula. There's also a little bit of Portuguese, a little bit of Italian, a bit of Greek. Then I have some Northern European ancestry. It's mostly the UK, Germany, a little bit of Romania. And then there's like depending on which source I'm looking at, it's either 17 to 20% of that is from Mexico, specifically the Tamaulipas and Nuevo Leon. So that's where my native ancestry comes from, and that's probably why I have bad facial hair pattern genes.
And I've seen you, Six. You don't look like a beaner. I'm telling you, man.
So I think I take a little bit more after my biological mother, which I did get to meet several years ago. An interesting lady.
So were you adopted then?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. So you're learning all sorts of interesting information about Six. You were on your birthday just came by recently, didn't it?
Yeah, just turned 46.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Well, happy belated birthday. I didn't say anything on social media about it because I don't know.
Okay.
I scroll through social media. I don't always like happy birthday or anything like that. So
Funny thing, just a little Irving autism here. That should be another banner. Irving's autism. So a while ago, I learned something, and I no longer say happy belated birthday. I say belated happy birthday. Because it's not your birthday that's belated. It's my offering you a happy one. So happy belated birthday is wrong. Your birthday wasn't late. I am.
right.
Belated happy birthday.
Thank you.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense. Much like eating your cake and having it too makes more sense than having your cake and eating it too.
Hmm.
So
And
Craig,
that's the original phrase.
Really?
Craig,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. So Irving's already on Irving's already on the program, but I just wanted to make this formal request. I am currently writing a novel, and there is a character in this novel that is based somewhat on our good friend Irving here.
Okay.
And I was wondering if it was cool if I was to base a character somewhat loosely upon the great Craig Bragg.
I would love to be immortalized in any work of fiction you would like to write, Mr.
Excellent.
Six. Please do.
It really is an honor.
Caricature me all you want. I might take offense, but I'll never let you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm currently on the 13th chapter.
Oh wow!
And
What's
so
the gist of this piece?
it is
I'm assuming it's fiction. Yeah.
it is a sci-fi.
Oh, cool.
There is a spaceship. Yeah, that's a sci-fi outer spaceship. Yes, and I'm up to that part where I'm going to be going into some deep lore about Irving Twins' alter ego, and so I needed some more depth, and so I was thinking, you know what? How about basing a character on Craig Bragg, because he's a cool dude.
Oh,
And
thanks, brother. You're a cool dude too.
so yeah, that's I'm up to that point. I've been meaning to get a hold of you on Twitter, but I just this process is it's been interesting. There's a lot of there's a lot of parts where I just glide through like it's nothing, and the rest it feels like it's writing itself, and the rest it's like I feel like I'm pulling it out of my ass.
Yeah. Well, if you're like whenever I endeavor to write something, um, I always have a really easy time with dialogue, and I can fill pages and pages of dialogue. It's when I have to get into descriptions of locations and things like that
Night
Yeah.
agent.
that I always have difficulty. So C-Max being all me, she says, "Oh no, don't ruin the book." So, is this some kind of weird?
Spoilers.
Yeah. Are you going to ship me and Irving together? Don't ship us, please.
No, there's yeah.
And C-Mac also would like to proofread.
No,
Well,
dibs. Dibs. Already called.
Okay.
Okay, this is Irving's called dibs on that one. Okay.
All right, there you go. So, yeah, no, that would be cool. That'd be cool. I like science fiction. I don't read nearly enough, and I don't write nearly enough. I love to write, but I never seem to find the time. The last little bit I wrote, funnily enough, was this Friday though, and it wasn't anything fiction. This past Friday, I was just sitting at work because I don't really work very hard at work. I was watching YouTube videos while I'm supposed to be doing my job, and I was watching YouTube videos about different role playing game systems. And I'm like, I'm gonna jot down some ideas on a role playing game system, and I basically wrote out a mechanics like a 2d6 RPG mechanic system for a
Mhm.
superhero style game, I bash it out in probably about an hour, and it's for the most part complete because it's very simple. It's player facing die rolling. It's a lot of mechanics through descriptive, and it's dead easy. So I'm like, where did this come from? All of a sudden, it just got it in my head. I'm going to write a game system. So I wrote up a game system, and I'm
So-
sure that I subconsciously stole from lots of other systems, but I was just like banging it out, you know.
So Pox is asking a question here. Is it more of a modern sci-fi or a classic sci-fi field? It's both and neither.
Good. That means it's something else, something new.
It is something else. It is something else.
So it's not like hard sci-fi; it's more speculative fiction, as they call it.
It's something else.
It's not a spaceship, though, so
It's not your. What is the author? The one that did the more sort of realistic kind of science fiction that's based on really like hard sciencey stuff. I can't remember the guy's name, but his ships are more, instead of Star Trekky ships, he has more like rocket based. I can't remember the guy's name.
Arthur C. Clarke.
That doesn't. It's close.
Fox is
Isaac
pulling up
Asimov.
Bradbury.
Ray
I'm
Bradbury.
looking at, yeah, no, the ABCs of science fiction are Asimov, Bradbury, and Clark.
Yeah.
Pox says it sounds like Age of the Apocalypse. It's not dissimilar from Age of the Apocalypse. Yeah, it's a 2d6 system. You roll actions with 2d6. You roll effects with 1d6, and sixes explode on effects. I can actually, you know what, Pox? I'll send it to you because I sent it to myself. I was working on my work computer, and then I sent it to myself to my email, so I can share it with you. And you can take a look.
So I will. I am hoping to start looking for publishers in December.
Nice.
You can always self-publish, man.
I could, yeah. That's another. That is another avenue.
Like a print-on-demand kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
But a publisher is a good way to get what's it called? Like publicity too, right?
Yeah.
Like they end up taking on most of the trouble for you.
Yeah.
And if you
They help
right,
a lot more. They help a lot more with marketing. Whereas if you self-publish or you print on demand, you kind of need to do all of the work when it comes to publishing.
Yeah.
Or marketing, I should say.
And apparently there's something that goes on with budding authors that like you don't make money on your first 2 books. right? Like, first off, your what's it called?
Yeah, I'm not quitting my day job there.
Yeah, your royalties will be particularly small for the first book, mostly because if you could send someone like the first couple of chapters of something that they would bother to read, because I'm sure they're getting stuff all the time. So if they ever get to yours, and they want it, they'll give you like an advance, and then every copy sold will be paying back your advance.
Yeah.
And then your second book will finish paying back your initial advance. And your third book, you'll actually start to make money.
Yeah.
But it could be like a real job. So you've got to, yeah. But I mean, that's the problem with creative endeavors is, and this is something that I remember from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? To be an entrepreneur and to do this creative endeavor, you have to be willing to work for free. Because right now, Six, you're describing putting in all of these hours and making no money right now.
Yeah.
Like it could be hundreds of hours, thousands of hours eventually, at which you are on the prospect of one day you might get paid for it, right? So that's where the difficulty lies in this kind of creative endeavor. So good for you, because that's tough.
Yeah.
Even if it's fun, it must get hard, right? Like,
yeah, so it's particularly
it's
yeah,
it's a mess.
the ass pulling part is the tough.
Which part do you find is difficult to write? Like, is it dialogue? Is it description? Is it action? What is it? Or is it just sometimes you just feel a block?
Dialogue actually comes fairly easy for me.
Yeah.
It's just, particularly if I'm reaching a part of the narrative that I haven't really structured out very well in my head beforehand, that I run into a lot of really stilted, jagged sort of process, and it kind of sucks because I'm kind of having to come up with a lot of stuff really on the fly, and I do a lot of ass pulling. That's my term for it.
Yeah, it starts to feel like filler, right?
Yeah,
and you don't want that. Like, that's I do know the feeling, because I've never completed writing anything. What happens is I get like a scene in my head, right, for a story that I sort of know beginning to end, but one scene becomes crystal clear.
Yeah.
Fucking go nuts and bang out 10, 12, 15 pages, and that's it. I have no way to connect it to the next one. Right? Like, like it's terrible. So nothing is completed. I have bits and pieces of a dozen works.
Well, that's
on a computer.
You sound like me, Irving. I'm what they call a pantser. I just, when I start writing, I fly by the seat of my pants. I don't plot anything out. I have an idea in mind, and then I just start writing a scene, and then the scenes ultimately turn into the chapters. Right?
Well, what I've done here is I know how my book ends. I know how this book ends, and I know there's some waypoints that I've already come up with that I'm working myself towards. I'm in the process right now working towards another waypoint, because I know this is going to happen, and this next thing is going to happen, and this next thing is going to happen, and this next thing is going to happen, and ultimately reaching the end of the book. And there's all these little waypoints. Now, it is my challenge to come up with stuff that connects each of these waypoints to one another until I ultimately reach that end point. One of the ways that has really helped me is to not feel quite so bad about the ass pulling stuff, is that I go back and I do revisions, and I can put in stuff that I think of later to make it less ass pully and more like, hey, he had a plan there. He bullshit my way into into writing something that it looks like I actually had a plan there at that
Right.
particular point of the story, which when I really didn't. It was just like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I'll keep pulling on that and see what happens there. So yeah, but if it somehow it works
That's
for
good.
what I'm doing. It's just working, and I'm happy that it's been as productive as it has been. And when I'm at work, I have a lot of time to think about these kind of things, because I do a lot of like really mundane routine shit. So it's just like, okay, oh well, I have some time to think about this. Okay. So as I have like 3-4 day swings in a row where I get a lot of time to really just go over it again and again and again and again and again and again until I find something that works. It's like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'm going to put this in here, see what happens when I put this in here. If it sucks, I can always delete it. But I'm gonna see what happens here. I'll put this in here, see if this works. And if I have to do some ass pulling, so what? It's all part of the process. I'm having fun with it.
That's great, right? Like, and you know what, the satisfaction you're going to get from, you know, when it does get published, seeing your words in print like that, that's going to be like, you feel like you accomplished something, right?
So
I
quite
feel like
literally,
it's accomplished something when it's finished, and you can put -30 at the end of it and say, okay, I'm finished. But then when you actually see it like bound in a book,
and a lot of I can see why a lot of writers get frustrated, particularly with the whole writer's block thing. When it takes you 45 minutes to write 2 sentences, that's you're in ass pull territory right there. And I found myself
the night
there.
was moist. The night was humid. The night was
damp.
The night was foggy. Oh, the night was.
It's times
the night
like
was insufferably tepid.
It's times like that I remember back to grade school, where the teacher was trying to show us brainstorming, right?
Yeah.
Where you write your main idea in the middle of the page and draw a circle around it,
Yeah.
and then put all those lines out, and then that mess. Then you start to turn that into bullet points, and every time I think about that, I'm like, nah, fuck that. And it's like it's the most.
The night was moist.
Yeah,
it's the bones.
Yeah, and then that I love that movie. You've seen Throw Mama from the Train, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, I saw it once years and years ago. I remember what the hell was her name? Anne Ramsey, Danny DeVito, and Billy Crystal.
So Billy Crystal is the writer, one successful writer, right? And then struggles with writer's block, and you know he's struggling with the opening of his book. With the night was, and he's trying to think, what is it going to be, right? And he hasn't written anything for years, and he has this terrible relationship with his ex-wife. And Danny DeVito's character says, you know what? He meets him in his creative writing class, and they both talk about how they're, you know, Danny DeVito's mom is making his life miserable, and Billy Crystal's ex-wife is making his life miserable. So the idea is that Danny DeVito is going to kill his ex-wife, and he's going to kill his mom, right? Anyway, it's just a bunch of nonsense happens, but at the end, they're on a train, and he's trying to explain to Danny DeVito, this is the thrill of writing, you know, and it's trying to find those words. The night was. Is the night moist? Is the night humid? Is the night, you know, foggy? Is the night, you know, damp? And then he's been struggling with this opening line for his book for the longest time while all this is going on. And then Anne Ramsey comes in. She says, the night was sultry. And he realizes it's the perfect fucking word. And he just loses. He says, Owen, I'm going to go kill your mother. Yeah, the old hag from the Goonies. That's right. She was the old hag
Yeah.
from the Goonies. Yeah, she played Owen's mom, and she's fucking terrible in it. She's such a terrible person. But yeah, well, you know what, man? I wish you all the best on that endeavor. I'm really looking forward to reading it at some point, and and I'll see if I can. I'm assuming you're not going to call my character Craig Bragg,
No.
but
No, my
I'll
name
see if
is
I can
Phil.
recognize him because obviously you don't know me terribly well, Six, but you have an impression of me. So I'll see if my impression rings through, or if I can predict which character's me by the impression that you have of me. That'd be fun.
Okay. Yeah. There's a spoiler alert.
I die, right?
No. Irving's character's name is Phil.
Phil. Okay.
Pardon me, guys. Be right back.
Alrighty.
All good. We've covered quite a few topics tonight. We're coming on hour and 35 minutes. What else have we got on our list here? The next topic would be no one tells jokes anymore. I don't want to keep Irving from this, but he never has a joke. Maybe he does this week, but normally he doesn't. Do you have a joke you might want to share, Mr. Six?
I do actually. What do you call a sleepy magic horse?
I don't know. What do you call a sleepy magic horse?
A unicorn.
That's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
A unicorn.
Unicorn.
Well, C-Mac will appreciate that. She's a horse girl. She loves the horses. I have a joke. I kind of want to wait for Irving, but he's disappeared. Should I wait for Irving? I don't know. I don't want to offend him. I should wait for Irving. He might go, "What? You told the joke without me?" It's okay. We'll wait. We'll wait. Oh, you're back.
I thought I was going to miss it too, but no, I'm here.
All right. I will tell this joke. Wonder if our friend Babaloa is still in the chat. He might have an appreciation for this.
Did Irving get to hear my joke?
Did you
No,
hear
sorry.
your Six's joke?
No, I missed it.
Retell it again, Six, just for everybody's agony.
Oh, okay. Irving, what do you call a sleepy magic horse?
I don't know, Six. What do you call a sleepy magic horse?
A unicorn.
Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. I'll tell you my joke. I just found this on the internet today. I'm going to try my best Russian accent. Okay, so the Russian elementary school assignment. Please tell us an anecdote that demonstrates the kindness of our great leader, Vladimir Putin. So on the due date, the teacher gets the kids to, present their anecdote. And teacher says, Igor, will you tell your story, please? And little Igor gets up and says, one day President Putin was walking down the street when he noticed a crying little girl. He asked what was troubling her, and she told him that her cat went up the tree and won't come down. President Putin personally climbed the tree and rescued the cat. Everyone in the class applauds, and the teacher commends little Igor on completing his assignment. And then little Olga's next, and little Olga stands up and says, one day President Putin was inspecting a steel factory and he noticed that the workers had no adequate safety gear. He then personally ordered the factory to stop and had them supplied using his own personal wealth. Everyone applauds, and the teacher commends little Olga on the assignment. And then little Sasha stands up, and he says, one day President Putin was working in his office for the good of the Russian people. Even though he had a terrible headache because of all the problems with Ukraine, but he couldn't concentrate on his work because a bunch of kids were playing soccer on the street beneath his window. So he opened the window and said to them, stop with your fucking game, you little shits, and scram! And then the kids left. and then the teacher doesn't. The class goes silent, and the teacher doesn't know what to make. Which says, Sasha, how on earth does this anecdote demonstrate the kindness of President Putin? And little Sasha replies, well, he could have ordered them to be shot instead. I'm glad you liked that, Dick. Irving fell asleep. No, he's frozen again. He's frozen again.
Yes. Oh no, frozen Irving.
That's okay. How was my Russian accent?
It's
pretty
It
bad.
was interesting.
It's pretty good for a guy who doesn't speak Russian and know how Russians sound.
So Irving has this expression of I'm prepared to hear a joke, but I'm taking a moment to collect my thoughts and prepare myself for the it's just always gone. Oh no.
I was thinking he's like fucking high, he's like really, really high. Maybe he's like, oh, here's another Craig joke. It's another one of those long fucking story jokes. I like story jokes. I don't like, one-liners or what do you call I don't mind them. They're good jokes. I like them. But when I tell jokes, I like to tell a long story. That's just
I'm into the crappy puns.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool, man. My dad used to tell us jokes like that, where he would like come up with a story about some buddy of his, like Frankie D'Ambroso or something like that. And Fox says these freeze frames are dope.
Yeah.
And he would tell these long-winded stories, and you don't see the punchline until you're about a second and a half away from it, and then he says it, and then the way he says it makes it that much funnier.
Yeah.
So, and I got my dad's sense of humor. Like, I totally have my dad's sense of humor. He's a fucking button pusher. He used to push buttons with my mom all the time, and I push buttons with my wife all the time. And particularly when we're out in public. Like, I don't do it at home. At home, we're just, happy couple, right? But when we're out in public and I can get a rise out of her, make her get, make her scowl at me, that's fucking funniest time I can have is pushing buttons. Yeah, my dad used to do this every night at dinner. We had like salt and pepper shakers. If you they're round, right, and if you spin them, they like wobble and they make that wobbling sound on the table. He would put salt on his food and then he would spin it on the table and go whoa, 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 whoa. Drove my mom nuts, and he fucking did it all the time. And she's like, Jim, stop doing that. And I'm like, Mom, why do you let it bother you? You know he's doing it just to make you upset. Then he shouldn't do it. I'm like, no, that's exactly why he's doing it. If you didn't let him know it upset you, he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Welcome back, sir.
There he is.
Did you happen to hear my joke?
The Putin one.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you catch the punchline?
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad you caught the punchline. I'm glad you
All
caught
right. These freeze frames are dope.
Yeah, the last one, man. You look like you were high. You're about to sneeze. You're like this.
Because I saw it happening. I saw it disconnecting. Before it disconnected, no. I was like, ah.
That's funny.
Next time when you see it do that, just put on your goofiest grin.
Yeah.
Like all the teeth. All the teeth.
No, you know what I want you to do? Get yourself a fake gun. And when you see what's to happen, put a fake gun in your mouth.
Oh, man.
Anyway. Well, folks, we're not quite at 2 hours, but I think we're going to call it. We have some attrition of viewers, probably because of all the freeze frames, but that's okay. It's not Irving's fault; it's the government's fault.
We're not the Jay Giles band here. Yeah,
it's all about the internet throttled by the government. It's all about internet censorship. So we're going to call it a night. Irving is frozen again.
I love this expression. It's like it's like he's about to say the funniest damn thing anybody's ever heard. Yeah. He knows what he's about to say. He's just really preparing for it. He's really He's winding up like a baseball pitcher. He's just
Yeah.
winding up. Oh, he's on the mound.
They're gonna love this one.
He's about to throw that curveball, and it's like, oh boy.
When he comes, we lost him again. He'll be back in like 30 seconds. When he comes back, I'll have him do his Hail Sigmar. Do you have any final words of wisdom you'd like to impart to our dwindling audience?
Sure.
Go ahead.
I do. Oh well. So of course, like the book says, you should never trust a naked bus driver.
What?
You've never heard. You've never read that one.
No.
Look it up. Never trust a naked bus driver.
Okay, good to know. I'll make sure to remember that. And I normally try and finish off with a song lyric. And for the last couple of weeks, it's been very difficult for me to remember. Oh, Adam's messaging me on Facebook. Fuck, this is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna share this real quick before I go, or before I sign off, and maybe we'll get Mr. Twin back. There we are. That's a great
yes. Yes. That is that's classic. That's classic Irving.
It really is. Yeah, normally I try and sign off with a song lyric, and I've been really into Weezer lately. I'm actually getting a chance to go see Weezer in July here in Toronto.
That's cool.
That would be fun. I love Weezer. I don't know why. They're one of my favorite bands.
So Piers Como is kind of an interesting guy.
Piers Cuomo?
Yeah.
I thought his name was Rivers Cuomo.
That's yeah, Rivers Como.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a different guy.
Yeah, no, he is kind of interesting. He and they had the really cool niche where they were kind of this nerdy band, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of like dominated that in the 90s when it was all like alternative grunge music. They kind of like went their own way, but still managed to achieve some success. So, and I may have finished the stream with this one before, but I'll use it again. Because all my favorite songs are slow and sad. Anyway, folks, I think we're going to call it. I was going to wait for Irving to come back in, but we're going to give it a the end. We're going to call it a night. Gargling after a blowjob is how they make light beer. My dad says that's for pussies by the Bloodhound Gang. That's a good song lyric too. Irving, you're back.
For now.
We're just about to call it a night. So do you have any last words of wisdom? I just gave my song lyric, so if you want to do your signature sign off, feel free to do so.
I have encouraged the chat to not trust naked bus drivers.
Oh, I had song lyrics that came to mind the other day. I was like, yes, I should have these for the show.
All right.
White boy, get down on your knees. Time for cake and sodomy.
With that, folks, we're going to call it a night. Thank you all for joining us for the Ammunation live stream. If the stars align, we'll be doing a casual AF live stream next week on Irving Twins channel. Looks like he's frozen again. But thank you, Six, for popping in and helping support the stream while we ran through these technical difficulties. Six, you are welcome anytime. I know your schedule does not always permit, but you know what? If you come by next week, you're welcome to pop in, and I'll extend that to CMAC. I'll extend it to Costin. I'll extend it to Pox Toxic tentatively, because I'm always concerned about what Pox might say, but he's been on the stream before, and I'm happy to have him on as well. So, but that, folks, have yourselves a good night, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye.
Irving looks just so happy.
He does.